Hello, JJ from 22 Explosive Hits. Just wanted to discuss something with you, maybe spark some discussion. With the Beatles, this is one thing that's always irked me about them going past because one, I think is because I'm a film buff and I'm purist and I want to have the films the way that they were. And what I want to discuss here today is Let It Be. Now, Let It Be, the record, the album, is one of my favorites by them. Um, Phil Spector did, I thought, a good job, despite all the tape that he had and everything, to put this together. It's a great record. I love on this one. My favorite one is one after 909. That's it. One after 909 is one of my favorite because it kind of I thought it kind of summed things up with the Beatles, brought them back to their roots, brought them back to where they were, and then now they're recording it later, and then they broke up after the next album. So I think it's really cool. However, I wanted a copy of the movie Let It Be. I wanted to see it. It was released in the theaters. It came out. It did come out in Laserdisc. Japanese Laserdisc came out here in United Artists Laserdisc for a little while. As far as my research goes, it also came out in Betamax. So there were VHS or videotape releases of it floating around. I would love to have a decent digital copy of the original Let It Be movie. But what I'm stuck with is this boot I got off of eBay eons ago. This is a pretty decent copy, though. It's off of the Laserdisc, and they transferred it and they put it here for everyone to enjoy. This is just someone's artwork that they made up, and it's for my copy. This is the movie Let It Be. Um, Pretty much the way it was in the theaters back then. However, I'd like to have something, being that the Beatles are the Beatles, have something that's newer in a newer format, Blu-ray, 4K, digital, something out there. Back in when this one came out, I did get this one as well. It was Let It Be Naked. I'm sure a lot of us got this one. I was teased with the fact that the Let It Be movie was coming out. The Beatles were producing a lot of their movies. They were re-releasing. At that time, I believe they did release Yellow Submarine. Hard Day's Night came out in the theater really close to that time. Help, new versions of Help came on DVD. And I remember sitting there as a fan going, when is Let It Be going to come out? And I remember Amazon even had, or you could order Let It Be Naked, and I ordered the movie Let It Be. Well, my reservation went, unheard because it never actually came out on DVD. It only came out in this version of Let It Be Naked. Now, there is another that I can put a link down to in the comments below, a really cool trailer that's coming out for Get Back, which is Peter Jackson going through a lot of the Let It Be footage, remastering it, making it look perfect. But what I'm seeing it is that they're creating this new image for the Beatles. They're creating this thing where they were goofing around. These were actually fun times. It wasn't what the movie had portrayed them to be, which is fine. But I think if the Beatles are artists, that they could actually stick to what um, was the document at the time and let that be released so that we as Beatles fans can enjoy or take in what was actually being shown at that time. If you want to make another movie and redo footage, fine with that. And I've heard, Paul or rumors of Paul or Ringo say that, it didn't put them in a good light. They didn't like that. But to me, that was maybe a snapshot of the moment in time. Um, you know, they let that movie be released. They let that happen. I mean, there's footage out there that I did in my film career that I wouldn't be very happy with. I mean, I know there's one out there of I did what was that for cable access? I did a video for a college project about 30 years ago, and I recorded some really footage of my dad yelling at me while we were putting a car together. Now, listening to that footage, if it really surfaced, it would be painful. It wouldn't be pleasant, but I'd be able to put it in perspective as that what was going on at that time. That's what happened, and I can move on. And that, to me, it's sometimes seen in some retrospect that Paul and Ringo can't seem to move on from what actually happened. So now we're going to move on with Get Back, and we're going to have this new version out there. So I guess I'm just putting it out there, maybe start some discussion. Would we all like to see an actual remastered version of the actual film Let It Be, the one that was released back in the 1970s, 71, something like that. It was released out in the theaters, and then Laserdisc and the Betamax had this remastered and had this put out there. I think a lot of us, especially those of us who are big Beatles fans, would love to see it. I think we're all going to appreciate the Get Back film, but we're not going. But we're still wanting to see that original version. I mean, to tie it into something else, everyone knows I'm a huge fan of. My videos show it. It's Star Wars. Um, yes, enjoyed the remastered Star Wars that it came out to the big screen in 1997. It came out in the special editions. He added all this new footage, added all this new stuff onto it, these new special effects. However, I would still like to see the original Star Wars version that I saw in the theaters back in 1977 when I was a little kid. That's the one I like to see. That's the one I grew up on. That's what we were all originally in awe of. So I think it goes back to something like that. I'm just kind of a purist and would like to see what was actually originally released. Let me know your thoughts. Please post them down in the comments below. If you want to make a responsive video, hey, that's great. Hope everyone's doing well. And just remember, vinyl community, that let's bring each other up and not bring each other down. Take care.